Ms. Rivers has asked me to mention that if during the performance she says anything that might offend any individuals, families, organizations, races, creeds, religious groups, states, countries, or planets, please know that from the bottom of her heart, Ms. Rivers would like to say that
Just lighten the fuck up! These are just jokes, you assholes! Okay, let's do the show!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is the Minion with the opinion back with another video. And missed you. I know I haven't made a video in a while, so I am excited for this video. And of course, the selfish bitch Tiffany Henyard, of course, she can't help herself. She has to make and create a headline. So you know what? We're gonna give her exactly what she wants, another video. In this particular video, however, we are going to highlight some key moments from this illegal meeting / campaign / press conference where she had 3 attorneys present. You know, this really shows how she is going to strong arm the community into supporting her by using her mayoral resources to launch this defense campaign, and really before any charges have even been filed. I mean, how many innocent people do you know gather a defense team before even being accused of anything? What are they defending? Somebody please tell me. Now, let's discuss why this is illegal. First, Tiffany is using a public meeting to campaign. I know she said this wasn't a meeting, but I mean, you're in a public facility that's paid for by taxpayers, and you're urging people to support you, you know, in this Taking Back Your Village campaign.
So all I'm saying to you guys is now, stand with your mayor, and let's do what's right and rebuild our community. Let's show them that we can bring it all together, and we don't have to wait till something bad happens for us to say, hey, you know what, enough is enough. We're going to take a stand today, we're going to make it right. That's all I want.
This isn't about official business. Then you have another elected official, Andrew Holmes, get up and he starts saying things like the revenue from the skating rink shouldn't even matter because it's supposedly saving lives of youth and seniors, completely disregarding its actual impact. And there's more on him in just a second, but first, let's look at this Illinois Code of Ethics Ordinance, Section 2-583, political activity. Now, under Section C, it clearly states, county employees shall not intentionally perform any prohibited political activity during any compensated time other than vacation, personal, or compensatory time off. County employees or officials shall not intentionally misappropriate any county property or resources by engaging in any prohibited political activity for the benefit of any campaign for elective office or any political organization or political committee, right? So Tiffany's actions with her personal criminal defense attorney speaking on her behalf and attacking her former employee, Keith Freeman, during a public meeting are clear violations. Instead of releasing the requested information and owning up to the role as leader, right? I am the leader, you the mayor, right? You're using the public resources to run a smear campaign against Freeman and apparent abuse of public office, right? It's just out there. It's blatant. She's leveraging a platform meant for village business to push her personal defense and political agenda. Nah, Andrew Holmes, another elected official, and I do use that term loosely, but he just came out of hiding, and the first thing that this man want to do is campaign for Tiffany. This is pure D fuckery, okay? But Anyways, he out here telling people that they needed to support her during what would have been an official meeting. Now that clearly blurs the lines between public service and campaigning, right? And his involvement in a public meeting to promote her could easily tip into illegal territory. I mean, because at this point, public time and resources are still being used for political purposes, and that violates this ordinance. So let's look at this clown who actually really kind of does look like a clown would look like if it was a human, like in the human form and didn't have no makeup and it was just a human. He looks like the living human embodiment of a clown. So yeah, let's look at this Magic City pole grinder who's always twerking at any chance he gets to show the boys he still got it, you know, allegedly. But he is always twerking. Y'all done seen the videos. He about to show us why basically this P-Valley princess is incompetent, incapable, inadequate, intolerable, and probably impotent. Okay, so let's look at this donkey's first official speech since, you know, all the allegations.
Yeah, may I be recognized? You know what I would like to just say to the community? Read, look outside your homes, see what has changed since this administration took place. I mean, you be the judge, you be the jury. Don't jump to assume that everything is wrong in Dolton. Look around your home, you be the choice. Don't let no one force you into voting this way or believing anything or believing statements or believing things that happen. Secure your home, secure your family. Come out and help this village move forward. I mean, you see the progress that has been done. You know, people talk about what's going on Greenwood, what's going on in the village of Dolton. I mean, what are you putting into it? I mean, if you can see that we're trying to grow, if you can see that the concrete has been laid, and you see the progress that's been going on, you see the children are happy out there, you see they coming out playing, people talking about, you know, the basketball court. They got a ball in their hand, they don't have a gun. And my hat goes off to those fathers that I see out there sometime early in the morning or late at night in the evenings. They have opportunity to spend with the children right on that basketball court and engage with other fathers and engage with other children in playing. I mean, the ice rink. Why should they leave here and go somewhere else? I mean, people complain about that. Is it making money? Is it making revenue? It's saving a life. Why are you depending on a dollar? And you're talking about the ice rink. At least the children and the seniors can come out and enhance the quality of their life. Stop worrying about what revenue is coming in at that ice rink. Look how many children are skating. Look how many adults are skating instead of being transported to the medical examiner's office. There has not been an incident over there where you have a gang fight over there, or people fighting over there. You see people enjoying it, like you see music. And, you know, I take my hats off. You know, you have to follow the protocol. You know, the mayor's the mayor, and we're getting it done, and we're growing, and you see things are growing. Don't criticize it. I mean, if you want to make change, and you want some change to the structure and things that are happening in this village, not only in this village, but throughout the state of Illinois, contribute. Just come out. Give us your idea. There's no big eyes and no little U's. Just give us your idea of what you might like to see. You want restaurants. You know, you see structure coming up on Sibley. I mean, they're complaining about that. For what? Once you get off the highway, it's going to be a beautiful sight. You have a place to go. Sit down and enjoy yourself. Instead of going outside of here, stop worrying about what's being paid. Is where the income is coming in to build structure here. Everybody wants to live in a beautiful sound area. We don't have to go farther out the country, Love Hills. We don't have to go out, you know, out west. We don't have to go downtown Chicago. If you're going to complain and build up your own city. Stop talking negative. And I agree with it. You know, yeah, it's hidden news, national news. Guess what? The residents are still living there, and they're strong. And I say, it's Dolton strong. I mean, you see the concrete there. You see what's been laid there, you plant a seed and grow a rose, and that's what's been happening. You want to talk to somebody, ask those children and those families that's out there when they're skating out there on that ice, how they enjoying their life. Stop and ask those fathers and mothers how they enjoying their life. You know, we got a lot of fathers out here, and I spoke with a lot of them that don't even stay out here in Dolton, but they come out here to visit their children. You want somebody to take a hold to their son, and they take their son right over there and play ball with him. I mean, basketball is not everything, and it's not a career, but you know what? The love of spending time with your father and your daughter right there, and you ain't got to go far, it says a whole lot. And that thanks to a whole lot. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Now that we have seen that clown's performance, okay, let's quickly turn over to this engineer, because I don't think he's going to get like a lot of attention, but I need the residents to pay attention, right? Because it seems like some more illegal actions are taking place. This engineer originally proposed a project to replace the residents' lead and galvanized pipes, and it was going to be funded by two different grants that they had received, both of which were worth over $2 million, I think 2.3 million, and maybe even 2.6 million. Right, and those were from grants. But in this most recent meeting, those numbers changed, and they changed drastically. And I want y'all to listen, because now they've only secured around $780,000 from Cook County instead of the $2 million grant. And also, he mentioned that the cost of the second project is going to be $1.8 million. And he did not mention anything about the funding for that particular project. So it sounds like the taxpayers may be on the hook for that bill, that $1.8 million as well. So let's look at this first clip. I'm going to play the initial clip, and then we're going to watch this most recent clip.
All right, we have Ron Smith, the engineer.
Good evening, Mayor, Madam Clerk, trustees, department heads, and residents from the village of Dolton. My colleague will provide an update on projects we're working on, and then he'll address any comments or concerns that the board may have with the two items that are on the agenda this evening.
Good evening, everyone. I want to talk about the water projects that we're doing. There is a lead service line program that we're working on in town. The first part of that is an inventory where we want to find out who has lead water pipes or galvanized water pipes. We've put out some surveys, and we've had over 700 responses. So thank you very much for the promotion, for the responses. That's been through a grant with the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency for $150,000. And that helped us to develop our bid and program to do the actual replacements of the lead water pipes. So we've recently put that job out to bid, received a bid for about $3.2 million. We have a $2.755 million grant from the state. So we'll read the price of the bid to match up with the price of the grant. And that project will be starting very soon. That is up for consideration tonight. We have the bid tabulation and our recommendation to proceed with that project. I also wanted to announce that the village was awarded today on the draft list another $2.3 million worth of funding for the same project.
Yeah, come on. Congratulations. Okay, is that it, Ron? Can we please have order, guys?
Quiet. There is an ordinance, a loan application, and some other things up for consideration tonight, as well as the approval of the bid. So if you have any questions, please feel free.
I got questions.
Next, we're gonna do Ron, the engineer, he'll give his report, and then we will go forward to the attorney.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees,
department heads, and residents from the village of Dolton. Right now, we're working on several infrastructure projects throughout the village. We're almost finished, about 90% completed with the 16-inch water main replacement project. That's right behind the old village hall. Project was partially funded, $700,000 by a Cook County block grant. The other project that we're doing, it's a $1.8 million project. That is 154th Street from Dorchester to Park Avenue or MLK Junior Drive. That project, the signs are already up, detour signs, construction happening soon. That project will start Wednesday, September 11th, and that project will be finished by the end of the construction season. That's all I have, and I'll entertain any questions that you may have this evening, Mayor.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so they definitely have some splaining to do, right? No, but let's move to this last clip because this is the one featuring the clown attorney. Everybody clowns in this damn video today, but now this is, in my opinion, okay, but I clearly don't share the same opinion that Tiffany Henyard and R. Kelly's manager apparently has about this guy who they thought that he was an awesome, great attorney, apparently. But he's a clown to me. This criminal defense attorney spoke for Tiffany at the meeting, which, based on the ordinance, is clearly illegal. Okay, now Tiffany should have held her own press conference at her own cost or whatever, use her campaign funds, I don't know. But she should have held her own press conference. But of course, in this world that we live in now, where gutter rats can overtake government and do whatever they want with no regard for the law or ethics, at the very least, at least the damn lawyer should have known better than to participate in this unethical behavior. All right, so now we have Boe Brinley, and this is her lawyer claiming that the board commissioned a failed mayor, actually referring to Lori Lightfoot, who completed her term but just wasn't reelected. Now, he also claimed that they are trying to overtake the mayor's seat without running for it, which of course is absurd because these trustees clearly ran for the positions that they wanted. And I'm sure they would prefer if Tiffany was just a decent mayor, or if she were just a even mediocre mayor, to be honest, because obviously the village wasn't expecting to look for greatness when they elected Tiffany, who sounds like she didn't even finish her special ed curriculum. I mean, nothing against the special ed. Shout out to y'all for figuring out how to get through school without having to do much work. But we don't need special ed in office, especially someone who didn't finish the course. And I'm sure the trustees don't want to take over her job, Bo. I'm sure they just probably rather just do their job. I'm sure that's enough for them. It's not like they're going to get paid more for doing her job. And as for this so-called defense attorney calling Lori Lightfoot a failed mayor, first off, that's wild. And what would you call Tiffany Henyard? I mean, Lori Lightfoot didn't have an FBI investigation. You know, she filed her financial reports, didn't she? I mean, honestly, Lori should actually sue you for defamation, along with the trustees, for recklessly throwing out false statements to the public with no regard for how it impacts their actual reputation. You know what I'm saying? So you should know the difference between embellishing and lying. After all, you are a criminal defense attorney. Now, let's take a look at this wild speech. And I will say, he and Tiffany both love hearing themselves talk. But he operates very differently from the Delgado Law Group. And unfortunately, that probably is going to come back to bite her in the ass. All right, now let's check this clown out.
Next, I'm going to give the floor to Boe Brinley. He's one of my attorneys, and he's going to speak as relates to what's going on, so you can get it from a different person than the mayor, because every time I speak, it's like on deaf ears. So I let legal speak to you.
Folks, there have been questions in the news, questions on social media about who we are and what we are doing, why we are here with Mayor Henyard. And I would like to take this opportunity to answer those questions so there can be no doubt. My name is Boe Brinley. Sitting next to me is my associate Edward McDavid. People have called me the mayor's criminal defense attorney. I saw that on the news. But that is incorrect. I do not represent Mayor Tiffany Henyard in a criminal capacity because Mayor Tiffany Henyard is not charged with any crimes. Mayor Tiffany Henyard has not committed any crimes. But I will tell you why it is that I have been engaged by the mayor. Mayor Henyard came to see me and asked to engage my office to represent her because Mayor Tiffany Henyard is under attack. Make no mistake about it, Mayor Henyard is under attack. She is under attack by a corrupt board of trustees that believes that they can subvert the will of the people and take over the mayor's office and the mayor's duties without ever winning that election. She is under attack by underhanded political machine attorneys who control this board. That's what's going on. This attack comes in the form of false statements. This attack comes in the form of frivolous lawsuits and unconstitutional recall efforts. This attack comes in the form of outright illegal conduct committed by this board of trustees, blatant violations of statutes, blatant violations of the village code. Mayor Henyard has hired me to stand up to these people and to help her take back the mayor's office from corrupt influences that threaten it. And that is why we are here, and that is what we intend to do. Let's be clear about a few things. To begin with, when there is a need for a financial evaluation of a municipality, who is the person that you think ought to do such an evaluation? You would think that you would get a forensic accountant with knowledge of accounting principles to give a fair evaluation and tell you the truth. What did the Board of Trustees do? They hired the failed mayor of Chicago, who is notable primarily for financial questions, financial malfeasance, and financial failures in Chicago. They hired that political actor to do the evaluation. When you do that, you're not seeking a fair answer about money. When you do that, you are seeking political theater, and that is not in the interest of the people, especially not when they want to pay this failed former mayor tens of thousands of dollars of your money to do this evaluation. When you do that, it's not government. It's corruption. And that stops now. After Mayor Henyard was elected, it was the Board of Trustees that brought to Mayor Henyard a municipal expert, so they said. A so-called municipal expert. A man who was supposed to be knowledgeable at all levels regarding village financial resource management, among other things. This man was Keith Freeman. Keith Freeman was appointed by Mayor Henyard because the Board of Trustees said he was an expert. and she listened to Keith Freeman. She relied on Keith Freeman to manage the village finances. When he told her, this is how things are done, this is what mayors do, this is how we do things, she believed him. She trusted him. And when she realized that his actions were not in the interests of the people, that they were not on the lever, what did she do? She fired him. She terminated him. I sat here. Well, she fired him in public after having already fired him in writing. But since then, at every turn, she has had a problem. Mayor Henyard has the right to appoint, and she has the right to terminate. That's the law. That's the mayor's right. That's her power. Okay? That's her power. But at every time we turn around, the Board of Trustees has stepped in and they are insisting that this man, who has mismanaged village resources beyond belief, they insist that he's still employed. They are empowered to keep sending out these emails and pretending to be the village administrator. They insist on keeping a person that everybody agrees squandered and mismanaged the resources of this village. They want this corrupt individual to remain. Well, she has terminated him again and again and again. They have interfered with the mayor's power. They interfered with the mayor's executive power that only she maintained. And they don't get to do that. When they do that, when they get in the way and prevent her from terminating somebody that everybody agrees is a menace to this community, when they get in the way of that, they violate the law. And that stops now. Governance, folks, is only successful if there is what everybody hears and everybody talks about, the balance of power. The mayor has powers as the executive. The board has powers as a legislative branch, and they are separate according to law. They are separate because only if both maintain their independence can we have fair governance. But when the board takes it upon itself to illegally take over the powers of the mayor, then there is no governance. All of the problems that I hear the folks up here from the various departments describing, those problems stem from the absence of governance. And the reason we have no governance in the village is because these powers are not separate. Because the Board of Trustees has taken it upon itself to try to take away the power of the mayor. This meeting is a perfect example of that. To cancel a regular meeting of this board, there are rules, folks. You don't get to make them up on your own whenever you feel like it because you don't like the mayor, or you want to make her look bad, or you want to exercise control and act like you're in charge. They're not in charge. The mayor's the executive. That's the law. There is a law. It is called the Open Meetings Act. Got it right here in front of me. Okay? The Open Meetings Act says, you know what you got to do to cancel one of these meetings? You got to give 10 days of notice. 10 days of notice to the public. Certainly notice to the mayor. You know what they did? They didn't give you any notice at all. One of the members of the board didn't even know. The mayor was not even contacted by the Board of Trustees. We had to find out through underground means what they were doing. That power to just cancel a meeting at the whim of the Board of Trustees is a power they do not possess. They claimed a power they do not possess. And that is the last thing you want in your legislature. The claiming of powers they do not have. That disguise. Now, recently, the mayor's political opponent, her actual opponent, Jason House, started signing checks for the village. Signing his name as if he had the authority to write checks for your money to pay for things that he wanted to pay. Like their lawyer, who she refused to pay. He signed the checks as if he had that right, despite the fact that there is a court order that says only the mayor has that authority to put that signature in that place on those checks. He did it anyway because he wanted to. Because he decided he wants to be mayor now. He doesn't want to wait till the people speak. But folks, he don't get to do that, okay? He does not get to do that. This man somehow believes that he can hijack the office of the mayor and take it over before an election happens and before any votes are counted. I want everybody to think about that hears this, right? Think about that. When a political opponent takes over, hijacks the office of an elected official, what would you call it? What could it be called? It cannot be called anything but what it is. Political corruption of the worst kind. And it's happening. It's happening here in the village of Dolton. It's happening today with respect to this meeting. It's happening with a drawer full of checks that he signed and tried to pass off as legitimate checks. Misappropriation of your money. And luckily the mayor's been able to get a hold of and curtail it. Folks, Mayor Henyard came into this office as someone with vision, with youth. And of course, the corollary to that is that she comes with a degree of inexperience. That's a fact. But Mayor Henyard may be young, Mayor Henyard may be inexperienced. But Jason House, the board of trustees, the lawyers who control them and pull the strings, none of those people should mistake the mayor's youth for weakness. Because Mayor Henyard will stand up to power. She always has. She always will. She will stand up against a political opponent who chooses personal ambition over the will of the people. She will stand up to a board of trustees that chooses illegality over order. And she will stand up to their power broker political system attorneys who choose bullying and intimidation over proper legal discourse. She has brought me here to make sure that that stops now. We are here to stand with the mayor and put a stop to all of it, and to make sure that nobody interferes with the will of the people who elected her to do this job. The people are the ones who decide. And with that, Mayor, let's get back to the business of the meeting.
So I think that is it, guys. I mean, it was a clown show. It was an illegal clown show. And it's just crazy that it's at the taxpayer's dime. And this is illegal. Like, she should not be using public resources to try to campaign for herself. She definitely shouldn't be using it for her criminal defense. What in the entire fuck? Hello? Anyways, I really want to hear what you guys think. Of course, this is all just my little opinion. You know, I'm just a minion out here. And I need to know what you guys think. Because when minions unite, no one can control us. So please join the Minion family by hitting the subscribe button, share the video, like the video, and I can't wait to see your comments. Oh my God, they always crack me up. Some of y'all are so witty. Some of y'all give like the juiciest tea. And some of y'all just be flat out saying exactly how y'all feel about this hood booger bozo clown of a mayor. And really, those are my faves. But I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.
Subscribe, like, comment, join the ride. The million take over.